Greetings, tubers. Today we have a video of my oldest opening some Kaladesh booster packs he received as a Christmas gift. He pulled some very nice cards, and this is his first dive into the Kaladesh set. Now, he's been playing Magic for several years, but he had not purchased any Kaladesh boosters. We are also working on setting up a weekly stream and inviting in some guests. However, with work, school, college, and life in general, it gets pretty crazy for all of us at times, and it's being a challenge to work out all the scheduling. We do have a special project in the works, and if it works out, I believe it could be very interesting. In our research, we haven't found any other MTG channels doing this, so I really do hope this works out, and this will be out sometime in January. Well, anyway, enough of my ramblings. Here's my oldest and his openings.
Hey YouTubers, how are y'all doing? My name is Mikey. I'm Riverter's oldest son, and what I'm going to be doing for you people today is opening 6 Kaladesh booster packs that I got for Christmas this year. I want to say a big thank you to my dad for that one. So I'm going to start with this one right here. Now, I started playing Magic back when Born of the Gods, Theros, all those blocks were out. So I really am more of that kind of person. I'm not really big in this Kaladesh deal, but I haven't really got into it. So I'm not really going to go through all these commons because, you know, no one really cares about them. However, I will start going with the uncommon. So what we got right here is Fairgrounds Warden. Now, I have seen this card when I play my dad, and this is a really nice little card. It's a 3-drop. And when he enters the battlefield, you can exile a target creature that an opponent controls until he leaves the battlefield. That's pretty good for 3-drop. And I know it's kind of irritating me sometimes when my dad's played it against me. We have Harsh Scrutiny. This is a 1-drop black card. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a creature card from it. That player discards that card and you scry 1. Now you're getting to get rid of one of your opponent's cards out of their hand and scrying for 1 mana. Now that to me, that's a pretty good deal right there. Oh my. So we got Servant of the Conduit. When Servant of the Conduit enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. I can pay 1 and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And Daddy, guess what? Got the Planeswalker.
Wow.
So I got Dovin Baan. He's a blue-white 4-drop. His +1 is until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-0, and its activated abilities can't be activated. His -1 is you gain 2 life and draw a card. And then his -7 is you get an emblem with your opponents can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap step. Now I have a blue-white control deck that I currently run, and it has the Jace. I think it's called Jace Unraveler of Secrets, where his minus ultimate ability is it counters the first spell of every opponent's first one that they play. Now this card right here, Dovin Baan, would go great in there. It's a great complement to my control deck, and I think that it's really going to be a good asset to what I run. And of course my land for the turn and a promo card. So that right there, to start things off, that was just peachy. So now we're going to start with the second one. The first deck I ever ran was a mill deck. Of course, it had Jace, Memory Adept, and Merkle Vosk on them. Now, I really like that because I could control the game and I could irritate my opponents by making sure they couldn't draw all the cards they needed, and I'd get rid of them directly into the graveyard. But let's see what this has for us. So, getting rid of all these commons right here. And here we go. Here's the good stuff. So, you got Blossoming Defense. It's a 1-drop. And target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains Hexproof at the end of the turn. Now, if you're in a tight spot, as soon as you throw this down your creature, they can't counter this spell because it was played on a creature, and so it can't be countered. Now, I think that right there is a pretty good deal. Plus, it gets +2/+2. So, if you're about to die, this little 2 extra points might save your butt in the end. So, now we have Brazen Scourge. This is a 3-drop, and it has haste. Now, this thing looks like some sort of like armadillo deal from Star Wars here. Y'all take a see that? That's just nasty looking. But that's a pretty good deal for a 3-drop 3/3 with haste. That's really good for an aggro deck. Now we have Elegant Edgecrafters. It's a little high drop. It's a 6-drop, and you have to have 2 green mana to start with. And when it enters the battlefield, it can't be blocked though by power 2 or less creatures. which is really good. And when it enters the battlefield, it gets 2+1/+1s on it. Or you can create 2/1/1 servos. Well, 6 drop, and it's going to be a 5/6 when it comes out. I think that's a pretty good deal right there. I don't care who you are, even though it is a little bit expensive. So then I got Dubious Challenge. That's the favorite of my dad's. You look at the top 10 cards of your library, exile 2 creatures from among them, and then shuffle your library. Target opponent can choose one of the exiled cards and put it in the battlefield under his or her control and put the rest on the battlefield under your control. Now, that right there I know is a good card of my dad's. He likes to do it, and he generally does it when he has or he knows that he can get 2 of the same creatures out that he needs. So I have to get 1 and he has to get 1. So that way, in the end, he gets what he wants. But like I said, that's a good card. And then, of course, my mountain. And what do you know? Another servo for my dad and his little servo deck that he likes to run. So, on to the next one.
Cannot believe you got that Planeswalker.
I can't believe it was in the color of deck that I run. That's what I...
Remember the deal, I get the Planeswalker.
No, you get the Chandra. But even then you don't get it if I get it. But, you know. So, I got a Whirler Virtuoso, I guess they say it. I used to run a red-blue deck that kind of irritated my dad because he had these little cards you like to call mosquitoes because I can just tap it and do 1 damage. But when this enters the battlefield, I get 3 energies, and I can pay 3 and create a 1/1 colorless Doppler artifact creature token with fly. Now, I can see where this can be kind of irritating because, say, you have a really good vehicle that only takes power 1 to crew. Well, when this enters the battlefield, you can throw that Doppler down and, well, bam, you're already swinging at them for more than 1, which I think is a pretty good trade-off, but, you know, that's just my opinion. Now we got Glint Nest Crane. This is the 2-drop flying bird. And when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of my library. I can reveal an artifact card from among them and put it on my hand. The rest go on the bottom of my library in any order. I like this card because it serves 2 purposes. 1, it allows you to look at what's coming up so you can kind of get an idea how you want to run things. And 2, it also lets you put a card that you need if you run like an artifact deck. It lets you put it in your hand. Now that right there is a pretty good deal for just 2 drop. I don't care what you say. So now we got the Gear Shift Ace. It's a white and it's a dwarf pilot. Now this thing is a 2/1 2-drop and it has first strike. Whenever it crews a vehicle, that vehicle gains first strike. Now I really don't run a vehicle deck because I've yet to get any Kaladesh cards until now. I mainly ran with Shadows and Eldritch Moon. But this looks like it could be a really, really good card, especially if needed. I know my dad would probably need this in one of his deals because he runs a little green-white vehicle deck. But, you know, like I said, that's still a pretty good card. So next we got Via Pashiri Sage Life Crafter. This is a 1-drop, and this looks pretty nasty. So you can pay 3 mana, tap it, and get a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Or you can pay 5 mana and create XX colorless construct artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of creatures you control. Now this looks like something my daddy might want in his little green-white deck right there. I know you probably can't read it really good, but nonetheless, go check it out if you get a chance. It's a really nice looking card here. And hey, what do you know? We got another servo. Can't never have any more of them, can you? Those little buggers. But, you know. So, let's get again to the uncommons here. So, this looks like it can be kind of irritating. This is Furious Reprisal. It's a 4-drop, and it's a sorcery. But it deals 2 damage to each up to 2 target creatures and or players. So you could do 2 damage to your creature and 2 damage to your player, or just 2 damage to the creatures. Which, it can really save your butt if they got a bunch of, you know, creatures out there that are causing you issues. Then we have Experimental Aviator. It's a 5-drop, and it has flying, but when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. My cousin, he runs a little Thopter deck, and I know them things can be irritating. But, you know, 5-drop to me seems kind of expensive, but that's just my opinion. When serving, alright, we got Servant of the Conduit here. It's a 2-drop green creature. And when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters. So you pay 1 and add mana of any color to your mana pool. It's not too bad. I mean, it's sort of similar to like that. It's a druid deal. You can pay 2 mana, get them out there and tap them, and you get 1 mana of any color. It's basically the same concept. Now we have Authority of the Consoles, and this will be going into my control deck. Now listen to this. It's a 1-drop white card. Creatures your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under opponent's control, I gain a life. So my cousin Zeb runs a Kiora deck, and he gets some little 8/8 octopuses out. Well, they're entering in tapped, and I get life for all the octopuses he throws out. So I mean, that's good right there. So I'm gonna throw that in there over there with my Dovin Baan, and I'm gonna keep going. Of course, I got a Thopter token, which whoever uses them, there you go, you can have it. The first time I saw Thopters was when they released Origins, but ever since Origins came out, I kind of saw a dying away from Thopters because they started shifting towards vampires and zombies and werewolves and all that jazz. Now, I tried running a werewolf deck, but I just kind of gave up on it. I didn't really like the mechanics of it. But, that's just me. I'm more of a sit back and kind of irritate you player. I don't really like smashing your teeth in too fast. So we got Voltic Brawler. It's a 2-drop red-green. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energies. And whenever it attacks, you can pay an energy. And if you do, it gets 1/1, then trample to the end of the turn. Well, you could have, like, say, 7 energy, and, they can say that they're taking the damage. Well, bam, you play all their energies, and you get +1/+1 and trample. You can literally knock their head off their neck with this one little 2-drop red-green card if they ain't paying attention. Of course, playing my uncle, that's a different story. He always pays attention. So we got a 3-drop Chief of the Foundry. Now, this is an artifact creature construct. Other artifact creatures you control get a 1/1 counter. Now that's pretty good. Of course, I don't know how. I'm not really big into artifact decks. I tried playing some where it was back in the Affinity days where you could cast artifacts for half the cost if your artifacts had Affinity. But that was the most I ever touched with them. I didn't really get into them much. But this looks like it could be a really good card if you run it like an artifact deck. So now we have Refurbish. Refurbish is it's a 4-drop sorcery, white, that allows you to turn target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Again, this could be something useful like in my dad's green white deck because I do know he has a lot of artifacts that go into his battlefield and into his graveyard, and I know that he likes his little favorite Pain Train card that he calls it when it comes out. So if I do something stupid to kill it, I know he can. He now has a chance to bring it back. So that's a pretty good card. So now I have that Aether Storm Rock. This is a 4-drop bird. And whenever it enters the battlefield, or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. When it attacks, you can pay 2, and if you do, put a 1/1 counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature defending player's control. I really don't run a lot of energy, but I think just for the sake of it, I just might throw this in there just because it allows me to get a 1/1 on this, and it lets me tap up to 1 target creature that it controls. So I think this is going to be going to my deck. It looks kind of nice. I wish I had maybe 1 or 2 more because this looks like it'd be a really nasty card. But then again, you never know. It's really good though. So we'll set that there, and of course, get your mana and a servo. So here it comes down to the last pack. Am I going to get another Planeswalker? I wish. I hope. Of course, you never know. So, skipping all this jazz again, going straight to the uncommons. Hey, there's another train. So, we got the Filigree Familiar. When Filigree Familiar enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and when it dies, you draw a card, and it's a 3-drop. Now, this thing here looks like a little puppy dog. Now, it's not that bad. You gain 2 life for 3 mana, and when it dies, you draw a card. This looks something kind of like just out there to kind of help you a little bit. It doesn't look really much like a game changer. Of course, I'm not really into that artifact junk, so I may be wrong about this. But for 3 drop, you get a draw card and you gain life. That seems pretty reasonable. And well, you know, I run a green-black deck as well. Creatures with no counters on them get -2/-2 until the end of turn. Now this right here could be a board whopper. See, because my dad and my uncle run 1/1 soldier decks and servo decks and irritating decks is what I call them. And this card right here just might save me. So I might throw that in my Delirium deck. It looks kind of nice. But I mean, it's 4-drop and you can get rid of a bunch of creatures. That's a pretty good deal. And it's a sorcery. If it was an instant, now that would be just even better. But, you know, I got a Riverter Guide. It's 3-drop. And you can play 3 mana. A target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. That looks like a really nice card right there. That looks like, you know, I don't know, because my Delirium deck, I think this could work 2 ways. This could go into a red-green deck because red-green has always been about smashing their teeth in. So this could go out there and it could help them, you know, hit them hard. Or be like my Delirium deck, and because I got the Gitrog monster and all that in there, the Ishkov Widow, I think that could really help them as well. So we're just going to set that right there. Now I get the Master Trinketeer. And this is a 3-drop. And it's a rare. Servos and Thopters you control get 1/1. Pay 4 mana, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Now this looks like something my dad might want in his deck. I mean, it's a cheap card to pay for, and you know you get, you know, +1/+1 on your servos. Now that is a good deal because a lot of the higher up vehicles, they require power 6, power 5 to crew. Oh crap, you give this to servos and your Thopters, man, you can power that thing up with 2, 3 instead of just, you know, 5 or 6. So I think that's a pretty good trade-off right there. I want to sit that right there. Of course, you got your mana and your Thopter. So I want to thank you guys again for joining us for this little experience. I hope you had as much fun discovering all the good stuff I got as I did. And I hope y'all have a happy holidays, a happy New Year's, and y'all stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all.